Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel again. Another video within a couple of days, so I'm trying not to get back into it, but I'm still occasionally coming up against something that I think I should comment about. So welcome back, and just a bit of lubrication because invariably I'll start coughing every time I start talking. So, terrible things happening around the world, in Ukraine and elsewhere, which I mentioned before, and our heart still goes out to those people. We pray there'll be a resolution before too much longer. The Australian cricketing world is in a bit of shock at the moment because we've lost two of our heroes from Test cricket in Australia in the last couple of days. Rodney Marsh, who was our famous wicketkeeper for many years, who's about my vintage. He was about a year younger than me, or maybe 18 months younger than me. And Shane Warne, who was only 52, I think. He died of a heart attack, I think, yesterday in Thailand. And Rod Marsh died of a heart attack too, or complications from a heart attack. So we've lost two greats. So I can't do too much with Rod Marsh today because I was playing cricket at the same time he was playing, so I never actually got to see in the flesh Lilly, Thompson and Marsh all playing together in Test matches at Adelaide Oval. But because I was a bit older and had retired from cricket, I then saw a lot of cricket at the Adelaide Oval after that, including matches where Shane Warne was featuring. And so I've got quite a lot of photography that I've taken at the Adelaide Oval featuring Shane Warne, some taken on a digital camera, my Pentax ISTD, and also some taken on film on the Adelaide Oval, probably on my Pentax MZS. So that's a cricket ball, for those who don't know what a cricket ball looks like. And Shane Warne was an expert spin bowler. And the idea with spin bowling is you twist it as you bowl it, and depending on how far the ball's rotating and how quick, whether it's go that way or that way, it's either a leg break or an off break. And Shane Warne was an expert at the leg breaks. So I'm going to just talk our way through just a slideshow here. I picked out some slides that I've got, some of my favourite ones that feature Shane Warne. I'll make some comments as we go, and some of the other cricketers who are playing alongside of him in these matches. So see if I can just get into my share the screen thing. And what happened then? You are sharing the screen now, so we'll take that out the road, and you should be able to see this. We'll take that out the road, and we will view it full screen. Is that what we're going to do? How do we do that? View, enter full screen. Okay, so this is at the Adelaide Oval, and Shane Warne, they're playing the West Indies. About 2000, I think it was. I'll put the dates down later on underneath. But Shane Warne was just coming in at the Adelaide Oval. This is back before the Adelaide Oval was redone up and everything, and you'll see some of the old Adelaide Oval here. And he's coming in to bowl. I'm not quite sure who that bowler is, batsman is. It could be Dwayne Bravo that was playing for the West Indies, and Adam Gilchrist, of course, the wicketkeeper behind the wickets there. So he's coming in to bowl his leg breaks from the River Torrens end. And of course, he's got fieldsmen all around the batsman there, hoping to get a catch to pop up. That one's being swept around the corner. Now, this is my favourite photograph in my cricket archives, I guess, because at that particular time, that's Shane Warne bowling to Brian Lara. And at that time, both Shane Warne held the record number of wickets in Test match cricket at the time all over the world, and Brian Lara had the record for the most number of runs scored in Test cricket. So there you are, world record bowler to world record batsman. And but this particular day, as so often, Brian Lara actually went on to score 200. There's Shane Warne there again, as the ball's been played around to their fine leg, and they're heading off for a run. Once again, a defensive shot It's Brian Lara at the other end, at the bowler's end. And I think that must be Lara tucking one round the leg side. And there's someone going for a big hit. That must be Brian Lara as well. And there he is, he's on 87. A superstitious number for a lot of Test cricketers, because they think 87 is they call that the devil's number, because it's 13 short of a century, and quite often lots of people, they get superstitious about getting out on 87. Anyway, so Warne was bowling. Brett Lee, a great lineup of bowlers there: McGrath, Lee, Andy Simons, Shane Warne, and Stuart MacGill. Stuart MacGill was probably one of the most unlucky players in many ways. He played a number of Test matches for Australia, but he was probably as good as Shane Warne, but because he was in Shane Warne's shadow, he never got to play as many games as he would have liked to have. And there we are, that's Shane again in action, and I think that must be, not sure who that is batting there. Looks like, yeah, probably is Brian Lara. And there we can see MacGill was just coming on now. He's just warming up there. That's Stuart MacGill there on the left-hand side there. He's just, there's some of the crowd underneath the famous scoreboard at the Adelaide Oval, packed in. You can tell it wasn't COVID times. No one's wearing any masks there. And there's another shot being played off of MacGill. And there we have Brett Lee is the bowler, and he's bowling to Lara, and Lara is on 96. You can see that light alongside his name on the scoreboard. That means he's the batsman that's facing up. So he's on 96. He needs a 4 to get his 100. Brett Lee comes in to bowl. Again, Brett Lee was, of course, a very fast bowler. Lara facing up, and he pulls it round to the leg side, and that went for 4, and there he is raising his hands to celebrate the fact that he just scored 100. And there's the scoreboard showing he got 100. Brett Lee had got 3 wickets at that stage, and Andy Simons had got 1. So there you go. The famous Glenn McGrath in the outfield, where he took one of those famous catches on the Adelaide Oval some years ago. And that's, I think that might be Brian Lara playing defensive to Stuart MacGill. Brett Lee coming in again. Must have been a short one because the batsman has jumped up a bit. Brett Lee again, bowling a bouncer there, causing the batsman to duck. Lara's on 106 at that stage. The arrow alongside of Brett Lee's name means that he's the bowler currently bowling his over. There's 6 balls in an over. In the old days when I played cricket, we used to bowl 8 balls in an over. An overall view of the Adelaide Oval as it was then, Brett Lee bowling, and it was very different to what it is now. And Brett Lee feeling a bit, what's the word, frustrated there. Something must have not gone right. I think that must be Lara hitting out, or maybe not. And there's Adam Gilchrist about to take the ball being thrown in. You can just see it outlined against the knee of the guy in the slips there. You can see the ball there. Runs here, going down, scattering the seagulls. Glenn McGrath bowling a bouncer, which the batsman is ducking as Adam Gilchrist is about to take it. Stuart MacGill having a conference with Ricky Ponting, who I think was the captain at the time. And there's another swish, and you can just see the ball about to Adam Gilchrist about to take the ball or about to miss it, I'm not sure. Another big hit here, but I think this one was caught by Andy Simons. There he is, he's waiting for the ball to come down and completes the catch. Brett Lee in the outfield, waving to his adoring fans, looking back towards the wicket. The scoreboard on the left is showing at that stage that Brian Lara just made his 150. You can see that on the main scoreboard and on the digital scoreboard there. You can see where he made all the runs, off 150 runs off 200 balls. Shane Warne's coming on again. He's swept around the corner by Brian Lara again. That's Andy Simons in the background behind Brian Lara. And I think that's Matthew Hayden in the slips and Adam Gilchrist, the wicketkeeper. Stuart MacGill bowling from the other end. There's a wide angle view of the Adelaide Oval as it was at the time. Lee's bowling again to Lara, who had just got his 200. I think he'd just That one, I've got a shot of when he got the 200. Anyway, now we're coming back to another match, which was sometime earlier, which was, and I'll put the dates for these two matches. This is on the Adelaide Oval. This was shot on film, probably with my Pentax MZS camera. And that is Glenn McGrath bowling. Must have been probably early in the innings. And you can see the slips cordon there. Shane Warne coming into bowl now. I like this series of photos because there's lots of classic Shane Warne appealing for the wicket. There you go. How classic is that? How many of us have seen Shane Warne doing that, going up, pleading with the umpire to put up the finger for LBW. Another appeal, this time from Glenn McGrath at the other end. And the wicketkeeper there is just bending down as if he's taking the ball. So it's probably a catch behind, and he must have completed the catch. And the umpire gave him out. So they're all in jubilation. Another ball coming in high where Adam Gilchrist is actually jumping off the ground to take the ball. Another appeal by Shane Warne. Must have been appealing for LBW on that one. Glenn McGrath bowling again, coming down through the gully in between the slips and the gully, or the third slip and the second slip. Shane bowling again. You can see how the mound up the back there is different to what it was in the previous series. Another wider shot. This is Dizzy Gillespie bowling now. He was playing in the same game against South Africa. Another appeal. Dizzy Gillespie coming in. He was pretty quick, as was Bruce Lee. Back in those days, he came in before Bruce Lee, but they were playing together at one stage. Dizzy again bowling. Someone's just hit one into the outfield off of Shane Warne there. And I'm not sure what's happening there, but quite an impressive slip fields there, including the wicket keeper. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people out there on the offside. Someone's going for a catch there, but I'd suspect that ball is going down towards the boundary. Another appeal, another wide shot, another appeal from Shane. He wasn't shy to ask the umpire, how was that? Anyway, I think that might have been before the game or after the game. I'm not sure when that was. Yeah, the game was over. I think that was the final score there. No, this is how many wickets. It wasn't the final score. So you've got Jarts Cullis and Dippenar, the batsman at that stage. McGrath bowling another bouncer. Coming in again. Shane Warne bowling. I think that's McGrath up that end. It is still. Ducking again, ducking and weaving. These guys will all be very sad about the passing of Shane and Rod Marsh, who would have been a mentor to many of these guys. This guy's out. He's on his way. They're congratulating Glenn on yet another wicket. Another appeal, another out. Batsman's taking evasive action there. The ball's just about to hit Gilchrist's glove. And then 9 wickets out. And I think it's getting pretty close to the end of the game. Brett Lee bowling again there. And I'm not sure whether that's the end of the game or they're just having a breather. When I played cricket, we were told you never, ever should lie down on the cricket field, but they've broken that rule over the years. Down goes another wicket. And there you go. That's the final score. So Australia made 439 and 309. And South Africa made 374 and all out for 128. So Australia won that game quite well. You can see the lineup of the players that were playing back then. Australia had almost what they called another invincible team in those days. It was pretty strong, and great batsmen and great bowlers. And South Africa had some good players too, but they weren't a match at that stage for the Australians. So there you go. Everyone's coming off. Someone's grabbed a stump, which is what they do. They grab the stumps to celebrate the end of a test match quite often. Might have been the end of the series. This was all on the Adelaide Oval, of course. Everyone's congratulating each other. And that was the final score, as I said. So we'll just stop the sharing. So thank you for watching that. I hope you found that interesting. And our heart goes out to the families of Rod Marsh and Shane Warne. And of course, people are dying all the time. And I've lost a few of my cricket mates over the last few years, but it's not only people who are in the limelight, but that's part of the human condition, isn't it? We all have a use-by date. Sometimes it comes sooner rather than later. So it's a very sad day. But anyway, Shane gave us lots of wonderful memories, and he was a great cricketer and competitor. So thanks, Shane, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.